Brock took the highway home, the heavy New Mexico sun beating down on him. He had chosen to put the top down on his 1957 Chevy Bel Air. The car had red and white paint with custom chrome fittings and white-walled tires. It was his prized possession. He was on his way home from the bowling tournament. He won first place, bowling a perfect 300. He was the only participant who bowled overhanded. Brock wore a black bowler shirt with large red stripes on either side of the loosely collared shirt. He combed back his buzz cut. Brock turned the radio dial up and tapped his fingers on the steering wheel along with the music, breathing in the crisp desert air. He enjoyed the feeling of solitude. He looked over to see his trusty 15-pound bowling ball sitting buckled in the passenger seat inside its embroidered bag. As he drove past the buttes and mesas, Brock spotted a scribbled sign for an establishment called Andean Condors and Gas. His tank was a quarter full, but he didn't know the next time he'd be able to fill up. So about a mile up the road, Brock pulled into the gas station. The gas station was barren, hardly clinging to life. Rust covered the sign, and the pumps looked like they hadn't been serviced in years. Brock got an uneasy feeling about the place. As he gassed up, he wondered to himself, I see the Andes gas station. Where's the condos? Just then, the biggest, largest white poop spray landed on the Bel Air's windshield.
Oh no.
Then another. Then another. Brock's head turned red in fury, and from above he heard snickering. Hey, tough guy, nice car. Yeah, I like the new paint job. It ain't no wax gonna buff that out, daddy-o. The entire peanut gallery laughed. Brock looked up to the gas station's overhang to see 5 Andean Condors perched on the ledge. Despite the heat, they were wearing leather jackets and sunglasses. What? The leader was wearing a white tee with rolled up Levi's. What? Brock yelled up, "You guys made a huge mistake!" Oh yeah, pretty boy? You gonna flap your little wings and come get us? Hope you brought a ladder, Pipsqueak. Yeah, get lost, short stack. Why don't you make like a tree and drive a car covered in condor feces? Again, the gaggle of gigantic condors laughed hysterically. Brock got in his car and drove away. Looks like little chicken neck got his feelings hurt. I bet he's crying to his mama right now. The leader flipped a switchblade around in his talons. Arrivederci, loser. Hey, boys, watch out! The birds scattered as they watched Brock's Chevy convertible barrel towards the overhang's pillars. The steel chassis tore through the building, and the perch was gone. All that remained was an open field, a plume of dust, and a man wielding a bowling ball in a bag. When the dust settled, the birds stood 20 feet in front of Brock in a V formation, waiting to see who would make the first move. Their leader grasped his blade tightly. Yeah, okay, you proved your point, Nimrod. Any other big ideas? Just one. Well, what you got in mind? Brock placed his fingers into the bowling ball, threw it as hard as he could at the triangle formation of birds, and yelled, "Time to make a preemptive strike." Okay. Well, hey there, all you cool daddies and hot mamas. You're in the Broctagon, and this joint's about to jump.
What is it with the show in the 1950s?
Oh, man.
It was a simpler time.
Was it?
No.
Not
Some people
everybody.
like to think so, but I have no good answer, Sean. Welcome to the Broctagon, the only podcast we talk about Brock Lesnar and I don't know. Sean and Cameron and Aaron here, answering life's most important questions about Brock Lesnar. You guys doing okay?
Feeling good.
Not after that.
Yeah.
No, it was good. I actually really like that story.
Thanks. Yeah, typical Brock tomfoolery.
You know, it reminded me of like Looney Tunes.
You know what I was going for? And this is like a specific pull, is season 2 of Boy Meets World, where for some reason everybody's a greaser. Do you remember that?
Oh,
Season
yeah,
2 of Boy
that's the one with
Meets World.
talking condors.
Yeah.
What?
No, there's a guy named Harley Keider and Joe, and it doesn't matter.
Yeah, Topanga beats everyone to death with a bowling ball. Yeah, I remember that season. That was great.
Here's our question. This comes to us on Instagram. The listener writes, Sean, I know you have strong opinions on Brock fighting birds.
I do.
So my question for you three is, how many times out of 10 could Brock Lesnar defeat 5 of the largest flighted bird, the Andean Condor? It has a max wingspan of over 10 feet and can weigh up to 33 pounds. To make it more interesting, the birds have switchblades affixed to their talons, but Brock gets to fight with one of those bowling ball purses. Looking forward to you answering the question that's been on all of our minds, and go fighting Irish, Jennifer from Indiana.
Wow. Oh my gosh, Jennifer.
Thank you, Jennifer.
Jeez, this changes everything. I'm usually just so pro Brock, but the fact that they all have switchblades and a 30-foot wingspan?
No, 10-foot wingspan.
10-foot wingspan? Still.
Look at this photo.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
They're
That's 2
enormous.
guys.
Cameron just showed me a picture with 2 grown men. Oh my gosh. Whoa. Brock Lesnar wins 10 times out of 10. He wins 10 times out of 10. We can wrap up the episode. We can wrap up the episode. Jennifer, thank you for your question. I encourage you to go outside, look at a bird, read a book, and don't ever send us anything like stupid ever again.
Sean, please look up Andean Condor human comparison or something.
I'm going to do it, but I won't like it.
Look at that, Sean.
It's the worst bird I've ever seen.
That's insane.
Worse than an emu, worse than an ostrich.
Gosh. The first couple pictures I saw, I was like, is this like at a theme park where they built a large one?
Yeah.
It's real.
What kind of theme park would that even be?
I don't know.
That's where your mind went? Look at the size of this bird.
Look at that. That's insane. How many of them are there?
5.
5. And they know how to use the switchblades?
They just have blades affixed to their talons.
They know how to use their talons, though. I can't imagine having switchblades on it would make it better.
No.
Not to mention their beaks, and they can get up to 30 pounds.
33 pounds. I read somewhere, too, that they can circle about for hours, like without really flapping their wings at all. They're like masters of currents.
Yeah, they soar on the wind currents.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really fascinating.
Sean.
No. They don't have to flap their wings for hours. That's incredibly relevant.
That means that they can conserve energy, Sean.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that changes everything. Yeah, I'm looking at pictures, man. These things are enormous.
And where is this taking place?
Just anywhere open air.
Could we make it a specific location? Because I feel like if it's in the mountains or, if it's just like an open plain. Oh, okay. The Andes. Yes, Sean.
Andean Condors.
Look at that.
Yes,
that's terrifying.
That's nuts.
That looks like it's a human dressed up as a bird on like in a ballet.
You could be standing on the edge of a cliff, and one of those things could run into you and send you over.
Aaron, that was a very highbrow comparison.
I don't know. That was the first thing I could think of. I was thinking of those mice in the Nutcracker.
Those things are huge. It reminded me of a captivating performance of Antigone I saw a few years ago. Oddly, no one waiting outside the Broadway theater had listened to our podcast before. I asked everyone.
Brock Lesnar, the podcast. The musical.
What musical?
Here we go.
You know he tears through the Nutcracker, right?
Yeah.
10 times out of 10.
Totally.
He's just like suplexing the Sugar Plum Fairies, and he's like, "Where's the Rat King? Bring me the Rat King.
Give me the Rat King."
Do they have weapons in Les Mis?
Yeah. They have like guns and knives and all sorts of stuff.
Yeah, it was like an army.
An army versus a ragtag group of students and peasants.
So I got Brock like 6 times out of 10.
What side's he on? Is he on the side of the The students?
No, he's on his own side.
He's on his own.
He's going to provide an existential threat that makes them work together. Like the king or whatever is going to be like, you guys can have some bread. We just really need some help right now. Please, just take all the bread you want.
I like to think that Brock is the officer and they're like, arrest that guy. He stole some bread. He's like, I don't see what's wrong. They're like, but there's cold cuts and American cheese inside. Give me that guy. Come here, Jean Valjean.
Jean Valjean, Jimmy John.
Jean Valjean,
Jimmy John.
Do you hear the people singing the songs of a tangy blend of herbs and spices on a Parmesan encrusted loaf? And everyone's like, oh, here we go. Jean Valjean, please, we barely have enough food to feed our kids. And you made an Italian BMT. We don't even know what that stands for. We've never even been to Italy. Jean Valjean stole bread and a medium drink with a side of baked Lays to feed his family for only $6.99.
Les Miserables.
Cats. He's got that one. Okay, I've been trying to think of a Phantom of the Opera question since we started this show.
Here we are.
And I can't think of anything good because I just can't erase my mind of Brock beating the stuffing out of some guy at half a mask. Like there's no situation. Like it's not like the Phantom is known for like his fighting ability, right? He's just an ugly guy in a sewer.
I think actually in the story he does have some kind of like freakish strength because he's like from the circus. He was like a circus freak. Yeah, there's something going on there, man.
We're gonna have to fire up the book to go on. Because I gotta get my background on this guy. Total sidebar to this. Every now and then a video surfaces of people on a plane with the cast of The Lion King. And the Lion King cast starts singing.
Yeah.
I'm sorry for being cynical. If I get on an airplane and people start singing, I'm going to stand up and shout that I have a bomb. Whatever I have to do to get off that plane, I'm gonna say
you can't say that.
That is my the worst place you could possibly be on the earth is an airplane, and now I have to be subjected to adult men singing at me.
No,
just stop.
I'm with you, Sean. I saw this recently. There was a new one of these. It was just like there's this guy.
It was a jazz band, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's just like they're playing trombones in the plane.
No.
Yeah. They're playing saxophones, brass instruments. I'm sorry I'm getting so heated about this, but it's like, don't you know brass instruments are so loud. They're so loud. And that in a plane?
No.
God help you if there's a baby on that plane.
That air marshal was not doing his job.
No.
He needs to take those people out.
That's why those guys have handcuffs. That's why those guys have handcuffs.
Or the pilot just starts nosediving.
They were doing it because their flight was delayed. They were still on the tarmac.
No.
Oh. Yes. So that's
hurts.
why they were like, hey, guys, let's jazz it up.
If I'm on a Spirit Airlines flight at 7 a.m. with someone's grandma's elbow in my ribs and I hear a saxophone, I'm pulling the emergency slide and getting out of there.
Yeah.
Like, that's an emergency. If that's not, I don't know what is. Like, I'm serious. I think I would rather deal with a water landing than being stuck on a plane with the cast of The Lion King.
I would rather have Miracle on the Hudson too.
Sullenberger's getting ready to land the plane and he flips the intercom on and he's like, don't worry, everyone. You can stay calm. I have my alto sax right here. I'm going to serenade you on the way down.
What would Brock Lesnar do with Hamilton?
Brock gets under the stage and starts spinning that circle as fast as he possibly can. They're flying off.
He's just under there, like, harnessed up to it like a horse, like trudging slowly.
Yeah, he's the one turning it. You know what tells me Hamilton is such a litmus for me of how much I've kind of backed off of theater, you know? Because if like 5-6 years ago, if I had the opportunity to see Hamilton and it was reasonably priced, 5 years ago, I would have jumped on that so fast. But now I'm just like, I don't know. Stay home. Rewatch Lord of the Rings.
I know you were in musicals, but like
I was.
But I guess I've just never talked to you about that.
I was so involved with musicals and theater. I for a second there, I thought it's something that I like wanted to pursue professionally. But after doing my last theater show, which was like in 2018, it's just cooled off so much. It's just dead.
Dude, you were electrifying in Seussical. I think about that all the time.
Thanks. You know what I think it is? I think I'm not very good at self-motivating. And I have to benefit from being carried along by the enthusiasm and community of others. And once I separated myself from that theater community, it just dried up, dude.
I think we've entered the therapy-tagon.
The thought-tagon.
Yeah, the self-work-tagon.
Yep.
Could you imagine if we just left all this in? The episode ended us with being like self-reflective.
No, even better. Can you imagine the three of us going to therapy together?
The therapist is in the next room. Well, now there, gentlemen, I'll be joining you in just a moment.
Therapist scales.
Knowing his penchant for legitimate business, though, like I feel like he probably would have his license to be a mental health counselor.
Let's talk about your childhood. What were you like when you were a little old gator swimming around a creek?
As a good friend of mine likes to say, sometimes a cigar is just a cigar. I think I'm going to light one up.
You know, you've been trying to swim up against a stream for so long. I think time for you to reverse course and go with the flow. Now that'll be $200.
You seem to be inside of a real nasty depression spiral, in which depression goes ahead and bites you on the arm and then pulls you into the shallows and then rolls around until it rips your arm right clean off. I might be thinking of something else.
He has one of those little sound machines right outside the door, but it's just playing like big band jazz music.
I respect your privacy. Now you go ahead and say whatever you gotta say, because Louis Armstrong gonna drown out all the noise in the lobby.
Trying to figure out what his like the therapist couch could be.
It's actually really legitimate if an old-timey Cajun alligator would have a big elaborate red couch. Like, I don't even think there's a joke there. It's like exactly what you'd expect it to be. Why don't you go ahead now there, sir, and lay down on that big old 6-foot piece of bread. And do me a solid and put some of those red onions on top of yourself. And then go ahead and pull that other big old piece of 6-foot bread right on top of you for me.
I sure made my friend Sigmund mad when I ate his mother.
See, there's an ego, and then there's a super ego. But I prefer the super ego. Oh, God. I didn't know where I was going with that. I just decided to start.
The joke is funny. I think I just preferred you going, oh, God. For a moment, you got an outside perspective of what we do every week. Hey, guys, how many times out of 10 could Brock Lesnar kill 5 Andean Condors?
All right, 3, 2, 1.
Yeah.
Ready? Okay.
3.
Wait a minute.
2.
Does he have a weapon?
He has a 15-pound bowling ball inside of that purse thing that they carry them in, like the pros carry them in. He doesn't get to take it out. It's in the purse.
Okay. All right.
3, 2, 1.
Brock Lesnar wins 6 times out of 10. 6, 8, 10. Is that what I heard?
Yep,
you guys are both wrong. That's another great episode of the Brock-tagon. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Sean, that's Cam, that's Aaron. You do not want to miss next week. It's going to be a good one. Isaac Spratt's coming on the show. Isaac Spratt is coming on the show. He's the inventor of badminton. He's here promoting his new book. There has to be a way to make tennis lame. We'll see you next time.